and they take things and they misconstrued it and they turn it into something that it's not. And it's just like, are you serious? Like, come on now. And alright, so this is just going to be a chit chat, get ready with me hair edition. Okay, I got some shit on my mind that I just want to, you know, chat about. And I need to fix my hair because it just looks a mess. Like, I just don't understand what's going on. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put some curls in it and call it a day. I don't know where like any of my clips or anything is for my hair anymore, and it's like kind of frustrating. But if anybody's wondering like where this hair is from and stuff, like I really have no idea. This is some old ass weave that I had in my closet, and I'm tired of wearing frontals and shit. The last frontal that I wore, I kept that bitch on for a little bit too long, and every time that it like reattached to my hair, every time it would loosen up, it would go back and back, which ended up taking some of my edges out with it. And I was like, you know what, we need a break. Okay, I love you, but we need a break. So yeah, I don't know where this wig is from. I literally just cut bangs into like an old closure wig that I had, and just called it a day. So yeah, I'm going to be using my Chit Iron Guard spray to try to, you know, minimize it from, you know, heat damage or whatever. But like I said, it's some old weave. I really don't care, but it is what it is. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, right, I saw something on the Shade Room today. Let me see if I can find it. And it was, I think it was Terry Crews. He made a tweet where he said, "There is only one woman on earth I have to please. Her name is Rebecca. Not my mother, my sister, my daughters, or co-workers. I will let their husbands, boyfriends, partners take care of them. Rebecca gives me wings." Now, me personally, you know, I 100% see what he's talking about. And to me, it makes sense. People are in, oh my God, people are in the Shade Room's like comments going crazy, like, you shouldn't put nobody above your kids, yada yada yada, you shouldn't. And it's just like, oh, you shouldn't put nobody above your mom. And it's just like, do you guys even understand what he is saying? Like, he's legit saying that the only person that I am meant to please, especially once you're married, is my wife. That's the only one that I'm meant to be, like, that's the only one that I want to please. That's the only one that I should please. You are not on earth to please your children. He did not say, oh, I'm abandoning my kids. He's saying that that's not my job to please my kids. Like, what I do in my life, I'm not supposed to, it's not like I'm doing everything to make sure that my kids are pleased. That's not saying that he's going to abandon them. He's not going to take care of them if they need help or anything. He's saying that he's not here to please his kids. He's here to please his wife, which makes sense. Everybody knows the saying, like, happy wife, happy life. Like, if he does something that his wife is not pleased with, then he's going to have to adjust it. But if he does something that his kids is not pleased with, you think that your parents adjusted what they did because you guys weren't pleased with what they did? No, they did what they wanted to do because they was your parents, right? So I don't understand why people are so like hung up on the fact that he was like, I'm not pleasing nobody. That's not like, my bangs is just a mess. Like, don't judge me. We about to fix this shit because this looks a mess. But I don't understand why people are just so hung up on the fact that he's like, I'm not pleasing nobody if it's not my wife. Like, that's the truth. Like, and it's just like, I also don't understand why people be so hung up on like, oh, listen, I am 100% big on family, and I feel like, you know, your family, if there's some shit going on with your family, you know, your parents, as I should say, then, you know, do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that they are all right and like everything is okay with them. But you now have a family of your own, okay? And that includes your wife. So you cannot do everything. I mean, I'm not married, so I'm really just talking off of my own opinion. If you're married and you feel differently, you can comment down below. But you cannot, like, walk around life trying to please your mom and please your wife, because 9 times out of 10, you cannot please both of them. Okay, and there are some moms out there, trust me, there are some moms out there that are so overprotective of their sons, and they feel like nobody is good enough for their sons, and they will literally, like, if it was up to them, they will literally ruin the relationship if they wanted to. Like, if they can, not even if they wanted to. They want to not. They don't want the relationship to even be a relationship. So if they can ruin it, or make their son see what they see, which is like, oh, the woman isn't all that or whatever, or she's just not worth it. If the guy allows it, or if he's like a mama's boy and he takes like everything that his mom says into consideration, 9 times out of 10 the relationship is not going to work out. And granted, I'm not going to sit here and be on some like, oh, all moms are that way. There are some times where moms can actually just see the bullshit through somebody, but there are a lot of times where like the mom is codependent on their son. Like, they love their son so much and they don't want to see nobody that they feel like is anything, like they don't feel like anybody's good enough for their son. Like, they feel like their son is the prize in every situation. Like, in any situation that they're in, they feel like their son is the prize. And if they don't feel like the woman is up to par in their opinion, then you're not good enough. And imagine being in that type of situation where you're married to somebody now, you know, and let's say that your mom never really approves of your marriage or approved of your relationship and stuff. So you're telling me that now if like she says like, you know what I mean, like if your mom, if she never approved the family, if she never approved of the marriage or whatever, and now you guys are, you know, she's trying to be petty, or, you know, let's say your mom and your wife have like a disagreement, not like argument and anybody's being disrespectful. If your wife is being disrespectful to your mom, then that's a whole nother story. But let's just say that in this situation, your mom is the one being disrespectful to your wife. Everybody's over here talking about something. You got to put your parents first. You got to put your mother first. You got to do this. If your mom is being disrespectful to me, I expect you to tell your mom that this is your wife and you need, like, don't be on no disrespectful shit. But you need to tell your mom that I am now a part of your life. You need to put your foot down and be the man and tell your mom that, listen, you can't sit here and disrespect my wife. Like, you're my mom and this is my wife and I don't want to come in between the two of you, but you can't sit here and disrespect my wife. Period. Like, nobody should be able to like disrespect your wife whatsoever. And you should never make your wife feel like she comes second, especially if she's your wife, the mother of your kids. You should never feel like she comes second to anybody. Like, of course, like, that's your mother. So granted, like, she already knows that there's a reservation for certain things where like your mother is gonna get the upper hand, or like, you know what I mean, like if anything happens, that's your mom, of course, like run to her aid. However, it should never feel like she's your second wife to your mom. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way that I can explain it. Like, almost as if like if your mom tell you to do anything, you gonna drop anything and everything to just go. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you have a life here, you have a family here as well. Like, not everything is going to be about mommy dearest, I'm sorry. Like, the day that you got down on one knee and said, hey, I want you to be my wife, mommy dearest is now going to come a little, like, she ahead of me, but she not that far ahead of me. Like, sis, you're going to have to wait a little. Like, we going to do what we can when we can, but it's not going to be at the drop of the dime, like, as soon as you call. Like, and I need people to understand that. Like, people are really in those comments, like, going hard like it was that big of a deal. I'm ready. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with what he said. Everything that he says makes sense, and I would hope that my husband, whenever a man decides that he wants to spend the rest of his life with me, which I feel like is not gonna happen, but I would hope that my husband would feel that same way, that he would want to please me, so we could have like, and that should be reciprocated as well. You should also want to please your husband, the things that you do to please your husband as well. I will hope that that is the energy that my husband has, to make sure that he is pleasing his wife, and the things that he do pleases his wife, and he doesn't feel like his wife doesn't feel disrespected or neglected or none of that. Like, all of that goes into pleasing your wife. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand it. And that's why I really do hate the internet sometimes, because people are just so sensitive and they take things and they misconstrue it and they turn it into something that it's not. And it's just like, are you serious? Like, come on now. And it's just like, reading is so fundamental. Reading is so fundamental. Because if you read that properly, then you should have no problem with what he said. Because I don't see no issue with what he said. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding what he's saying. or I'm reading it differently than everybody else is reading it. But from what I see, he just said that he's not pleasing nobody but his wife, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Period. I don't know if you guys are watching this video. Everyone has heard about the Kobe Bryant passing, and that situation is just so sad. Even if you were not a basketball player, just his impact on the culture, on the community, on the sports community, on basketball. Ooh, his impact. I keep sneezing. His impact on the basketball community, on history, has just been like undeniable. Like, he's a legend, okay? And it's really hard to come by people like him. He was like very humanitarian. Like, you know, they were saying that he was investing a lot of money into homelessness, and there was like this video that surfaced of, like, I think it was like a hurricane or a storm or something, where he was literally outside of his car, like redirecting cars and comforting people. Like, he was just such a humane person. And just losing somebody like that who impacted so many people's lives, you know what I mean? Like, I know me growing up, anytime you throw something in the garbage trash or whatever, you shoot it, everyone always says Kobe, okay? That does not change whatsoever. You always say Kobe. Whether you make it or you don't make it, you say Kobe. So he's impacted a lot of people. A lot of people play basketball because of him. You know what I mean? Like, he is a legend, the same way how LeBron James is a living legend in our time, and he is going to go down as a legend. He just recently passed Kobe's rates, and it's just crazy how, like, just the day before he had tweeted, and the next day it was just like, you're gone, you know? And it's just sad. It's really, really sad. Especially like him passing with his daughter. It's really sad. My heart goes out to his wife, because I can only imagine like what is going on through her mind to have to, one, just recently gave birth. So, you know, if she has postpartum depression, well, I don't know how postpartum depression is, but I've heard that it takes a toll on women. So her already having to go through postpartum depression, if she has that, and then to lose her husband and her daughter in the same day, that grief, I don't even think that I would be able to get through that. Like, I don't know how she's gonna get through that. You know what I mean? No one on that flight, the Altabelli, I don't really know how to pronounce their last names, but no one on that flight knew that that was going to be their last day living. Like, nobody knew that. So it's just so sad, because it's a wake-up call. And I think most people should just see that as like, life waits for no one. Like, death waits for no one. It doesn't wait for you to become a millionaire, to buy your mother a house, to start a new business, to, you know, make your first $1 billion, or to see your grandkids, to watch your kids grow, for your kids to get married, for you to get married. Like death does not wait for anybody. When it's your time to go, God does not like wait for you. He doesn't wait for you to, it's not on some like, oh wait, hold on real quick, let me just finish up these last, let me just say goodbye, let me just say sorry, let me just say I love you. Like, it does not do that. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go right then and there. You cannot stop it. And it's situations like that where it's really like an eye-opener to just tell the people that you love them. Tell them that you love them. Your family members, your mother, your loved ones, your significant other, whomever. I love you, and that's it. Like, make as most memories on this earth as possible. I seen this quote where it was like, what are you scared of losing when nothing on this earth belongs to you? And that that right there is 100% fact, because our life, our very existence is rented. Like, God gave us, if you believe in God, God gave us this body, this mind, this heart, everything as a rental. When your rental is up, when your time is up, you give it back. That's it. The soil that you came from is a soil that you go right back into. There's no oh, I'm gonna wait for, or, you know, give me like 5 more days so I can do this, so I can tell my family. There's no warning, there's nothing. You know, there's some people, you know, when they pass, it is like, oh, they're sick, and, you know, there's a possibility of that happening, so that's on your mind. So when it happens, it's still earth-shattering, but, you know. But then there's some people where you really just don't know. You really don't know. You do not know that last conversation is their last conversation. And it just makes you just appreciate life, like, so much. It just makes you think about, like, where you are in life. Like, what is it that you haven't done on this earth that you want to do before you go? Because your time is gonna come. Nobody knows when. Like, the only day that's promised, the only day that was promised to you was yesterday. And the only thing that's promised on this earth is death. We all know, like, nobody is exempt from death whatsoever. We all are going to die, okay? And sometimes some people, their time is 130. Well, that's kind of a drag, but 103, you know? And some people, their time is 10, 20, 40, 50, you know? Some people aren't even able to see their 5th birthday. And that's why, for me, birthdays are so important to me. Like, it pains me. That's the only way that I can explain it. It pains me when I hear people say that they don't see birthdays as a big deal, because in my eyes, it's just a gift from God. Like, my birthday is my New Year's, you know? No, like, New Year's is not really a new year for me. My birthday is a new year for me. You know, a lot of people were not able to see the age of 24, 25, 10, 15, 16, 18, 30. So many people were not blessed to see that. So I just don't understand how people cannot see that day as a blessing. Like, that day is such a blessing. And if you're somebody that's just like, oh, you're not big on celebrations or whatever, like, spend that day thanking God. Pray. Like, it's just like, every day that you're here, I just say try to do something that makes you proud. You know, if you look back on your life, you're proud of what you did. You're proud of what you've accomplished or whatever. And that's why I'm so big on living your life for you, because when you go, like, your parents aren't going to be there with you. Like, so many people are so hung up on making their parents proud and all that other stuff. And trust me, hey, listen, I am not saying don't make your parents proud. However, I also believe in you living a life that you're proud of, that you're happy in. Because when you look back and you look at all the things you did, and if you're not happy with where you're at, and you realize that the only reason why you're at where you're at is because you wanted to make your parents happy, you're gonna hate that, because you can't get those years back. A lot of us are blessed to still have our parents in our lives. Some people, you know, lost parents last year, lost parents this year, lost parents yesterday. And it's just like, we need to cherish our parents while they're here and give people their flowers while they are alive, while they're here, where they can smell it, where they can hear it, where they can feel your hugs and feel your love. And that's just all I have to say on that. My prayers go out to all the families that was affected by this tragedy. If anybody has lost a family member in these last couple of weeks, months, my prayers go out to you. May God give you strength to go through this troubling time. I already know that is not an easy thing to overcome. You know, whenever those memories cross your mind, the tears are gonna come. And, you know, it's just, make the best of this life. Don't just be alive, live. Like, this life is so small. Life is so short. I cannot stress it enough. Whatever, like, problems that you have with somebody, if it's minuscule, if it's something that you guys can actually sit down and talk about and get over, talk about it, get over it, hug them, love them. You would hate for somebody that you care about, that you love, to walk out this door and never come back, you know, or have the last argument with a parent be something that they leave with, and that's the last memory that you have with them. Like, repair all of those bridges. When you get into an argument, try your best to try to repair those arguments right then and there, if you guys can. If you can't, try to repair it as soon as possible. The last thing that you want to do is think about, oh, how could I have done this differently? How could I have done that differently? I wish that I told them I love them. I wish I hugged them. I wish I told them how much they meant to me. You do not want to have those feelings on your heart. You know, it's always going to be hard, but you're going to feel a little bit more sane knowing that when they passed, they knew how much you cared about them. So, and the same thing goes for people that are always like, oh, I'm gonna be happy when I get $1 million. I'm gonna be happy when I get this house. I'm gonna be happy when I get this car. My life is gonna feel accomplished when I get this, when I get that, when I get that. So focused on the things that they don't have in life and not appreciating what you do have. When you are always in that mentality, like, you really miss out on the wealth of life. The wealth of life is not about materialistic things. It's about what you have, things that money cannot buy. Because you can have all the money in the world, and if you do not have love, family, those things that keep you grounded, humble, and happy on a daily basis, whether there was money involved or not, you're always going to feel lonely. You're always going to be unhappy. So just make the best of your life. That's just how I'm going to lead this situation, this whole topic. Make the best of your life. Life is just too short. Tell people that you love them. Mend your bridges. Hug people. And God bless. God bless everyone who has lost someone. May God give you strength through this time to get through this. May your heart mend. May their memories stay alive. Yeah, and that's just all that there is to say. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to leave this. Get ready with me. Is my front? I feel like my closure is lopsided, but I don't know. But yeah, this is basically how my hair is. Yeah, I'm gonna stand up a little bit. I just have, these are the curls, really cute. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more like rants and, you know, convo get ready with me like this, then let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, it's right there. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that is all that there is to say, and I'll see you guys in my next video.